All of Lufan's dragons spread out into the sky, their huge shadows falling upon the quivering enemies on the ground. The star dragon, which always roared first in the battle cry, turned into lightning and ripped through the sky. Each thunderbolt sent a storm of fear into the hearts of the enemies. People dropped their weapons and ran for their lives, as if a giant of gods had descended upon them. At the same time, Jiao Ji unleashed his lava power. Fierce flames flashed from his eyes. When he rained molten fire lava down upon the enemies, a wave of screams rose up in an instant, and entire armies were reduced to ash and scattered into the wind. As all of Lufan's dragons roared into the sky, like a cataclysm, the old man's face turned pale. His hands began to shake, and his heart began to beat faster than the thunder of the battlefield. His soul was being crushed by fear. He retreated in panic and fled from the battlefield without thinking. But as he looked back, the mansion rider was also standing firm. There was a fire of determination burning in his eyes, as if he still wanted to stand up to Lufan. The old man stopped in his tracks, his wrinkled face contorted with pain and fear. In a trembling voice, he turned back and said, "Hey, are you still trying to stand? How can you have the courage to stand up to Lufan? Don't you understand? If we stay here, both of our clans will be destroyed. No one will be able to save us from his anger. He is really too powerful." The mansion rider looked at the old man with deep eyes. His eyes were not only full of determination, but also a cunning gleam that seemed to read the old man's heart. "Where else would you go?" he said coldly. "Don't think I don't know. You have the power to destroy the dragon tamer. Right now, you and I, we will go all out, and this dragon tamer will be gone forever." The old man was silent for a while after hearing this. Mansion Rider's plan was like poison slowly seeping into his soul. "Once the Yi clan is destroyed," the Mansion Rider said, leaning closer, "the Huang and Long clans will hold a 3-month truce, and as for the Yi clan's resources..." His voice was a hint of greed. "We will divide them later." Sweat broke out on the old man's forehead. He had two choices: either face Lufan now and face death, or survive by entering into this evil deal. Greed and fear finally gripped his soul. He nodded and agreed to the mansion rider's proposal. As the two struck the deal, their auras suddenly ignited. They unleashed their power, as if the sky itself was trembling with their anger. "My God!" The old man cried out in anger and panic. "This is the most powerful control skill. Any warrior of the normal level will be frozen to death for at least 10 seconds. The old man charged towards Lufan at lightning speed. But this time, Lufan was no longer a human. He was in the guise of a dragon. His golden eyes burned like bloodthirsty fire, and his roar shook the air. The old man stepped forward, trembling with anger. His eyes were a mixture of fear and greed. "Now the time has come," he growled. "We must not kill the dragon, but the person who tamed it. Only then will we be able to capture all the dragons." The mansion rider smiled at him. His smile was cold and ruthless. "I don't need to be taught this," he said, raising his hand. "I know more than you do." As the dark energy arose from his hand, the entire sky was covered in darkness. Silence fell over the earth, and suddenly, countless bloodthirsty wolves appeared, tearing through the air. Their eyes glowed like red embers, their teeth growling as they tore through the winds. Fan simply cast a cold glance at all those wolves. His eyes held no fear, but unshakable confidence. Suddenly, both the old man and the mansion rider launched their attack at Lufan at the same time. Seeing this scene, the elder sister's heart trembled. Her breathing became rapid and she cried, "Out! Lufan!" The mansion rider's face now had a triumphant glow. His voice echoed with a low but cruel laughter. "How can a fake shape-shifting dragon Withstand the full force attack of me and the Huang clan's second elder? But just then, suddenly, the mansion rider's eyes widened. The scene in front of him had changed. The dragon that they had attacked, its body shattered and turned out to be just a blurry reflection. A cold voice echoed. "The one you attacked." Lufan appeared from behind the mansion dragon. Cold light burned in his eyes. It was just a mirror lion, nothing more. For a moment, the mansion rider and the old man's breath stopped. Disbelief and fear were evident on their faces. Heavenly Rider was startled. His eyes were filled with disbelief. His lips quivered and he muttered, "What are you getting upset about? How could this be my colon?" The momentary confusion turned to anger. He clenched his teeth and roared, "It doesn't matter. Now that your true body is revealed, I'll finish you off here." He raised his weapon and pointed his eyes at Lufan with cold eyes, saying, "Kid, no one can protect you from me now." Meanwhile, on the battlefield, Big Sister used all her strength to tear apart a wolf. But her heart was not at peace. Her eyes kept falling on Lufan, and eventually she screamed in fear, "Lufan!" Lufan dodged Heavenly Rider's attack. His eyes were blazing cold. He waved his sharp golden claws and charged straight at Heavenly Rider. Suddenly, Heavenly Rider's face contorted like melting wax. He lost all balance and stumbled on his own dragon. Lufan's voice roared, "Is this your true power? 1 colon of mine is enough to wipe out all your strength, and you're talking about the foundation." He heard this, and Mansion Rider's soul trembled. His face turned white. How is this possible? He thought to himself. My last attack consumed all my energy. And this guy, he's barely 40 years old, but his strength is so terrifying. Lufan's name echoed in his mind, as if it were a curse. Suddenly, thunder struck. All of Lufan's dragons lined up together. The flames of doom were burning in their eyes. Lufan looked at the mansion rider with cold eyes and asked, "So, do you still want to fight?" At the same time, the system's voice rang out. "Notice, Jade Dragon has reached the 43rd level. Star Dragon has reached the 40th level." And the next moment, the Gog Dragon let out a sky-shattering roar. Its roar shook the foundations of the battlefield. Mansion Rider, that was his name. He was hovering in the air, the old man with him. The two looked down from above, where thousands of warriors once stood. There were now only corpses and pools of blood. Mansion Rider's face turned red with anger. "Hey, you killed all of our people." The old man's eyes trembled, his voice broken. "The Huang family is now completely destroyed." Lufan looked at them with a light smile. There was a cold gleam in his eyes. "After today, the Huang and Long families will be wiped out. There will be no one left to remember them in this world. I will completely destroy them." On hearing this, both their faces became serious. But at the same time, burning anger surged within them. They walked towards Lufan together. Just then, Chung Kang roared, "You can't destroy the Long family so easily. As long as I'm alive? Absolutely not." The old man immediately took out a black liquid from his pouch and drank it with trembling hands. His eyes were filled with madness. Chung Kang spread out his hands at the same time. Divine light burst out from his palms, as if an ancient mystery had been awakened. He roared, "Even if it burns my life away, even if it turns my soul to ash, I will kill you, Lufan. I won't let you live." The old man also began to summon all his power. Countless talismans shot out from his hands and scattered into the air. 10,000 mountain talismans. Waves of divine power burst out as the talismans flashed into the sky. These talismans released energy in sets of 5 every second, each strike causing 100% damage, and striking continuously for 5 seconds. The forces of metal, wood, water, fire, and earth clashed in the sky. Each new talisman was doubling in power and preparing to unleash a cataclysm for a full 60 seconds. Suddenly, drops of blood scattered in the air. The old man activated his talisman and yelled madly. He bound Lufan's Go4 dragon in chains. His eyes were glowing with victory. I have bound it. He also captured Lufan's new friend dragon in the next moment. He smiled and said, I was here just to check the power of the Huang clan's old ancestor. Otherwise, I would have killed you long ago. But then, Lufan's entire body glowed with a golden aura. He spun around in the air, and his speed caused all the chains to shatter. His eyes were burning brightly. The check is complete, his voice thundered. And the result is, you guys are not as strong as you think. As the chains broke, the old man's face turned white with fear. He was left breathless. He broke these chains so easily. How is that possible? The Lufan standing in front of him now seemed invincible, as if he was a god of destruction who had descended to crush everything.